I had always prided myself on my professionalism. As a private investigator, I'd seen plenty of lies, secrets, and betrayals, but nothing could have prepared me for the day my client handed me a photo that would turn my world upside down. It started like any other assignment. A man suspected his partner of infidelity and wanted confirmation. He had hired me discreetly, ensuring that no one would suspect his involvement. I met him at a cafe, where he slid a small envelope across the table. Inside were several photos, taken over the course of weeks, showing his partner with another man. Intimate, private moments captured without their knowledge. I flipped through the images casually at first, analyzing angles, locations, and timing. That's when I froze. One photo stopped me cold. There, staring back from the glossy paper, was my wife, Sana. My heart skipped a beat. My mind refused to process it at first. I stared at the image, then back at the client, then at the photo again. It was undeniably her. The same smile, the same earrings she loved to wear, the same way her hair fell across her face. It was her. In the arms of another man, laughing, touching, intimate. Shock, disbelief, and rage collided inside me. My hands trembled, my chest tightened, and 1,000 questions screamed through my head. How long? How often? With whom? And most importantly, why? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to maintain composure. My client looked at me, concerned, but I waved it off, pretending it didn't affect me. I needed to think, to plan, to understand the depth of the betrayal before acting. Over the next few days, I began my quiet investigation. Using the photos as a starting point, I retraced locations, checked timestamps, and discreetly monitored her movements. Every outing labeled as work or friends meetups suddenly made sense. Each smile she had given me, each hug, each I love you, suddenly tainted by the knowledge that she had been living a secret life. The worst part wasn't just the infidelity. It was the deception, the deliberate planning, the audacity to betray me while keeping up the pretense of a happy marriage. She had assumed that I, busy with work and trusting her implicitly, would never notice. She had underestimated the one thing she never counted on: my resolve once I uncovered the truth. I gathered more evidence, screenshots of messages, receipts for dinners and trips, photos from friends who unknowingly documented their encounters. I also documented her daily routines, noting patterns, times, and locations, building an irrefutable case. Once I had enough evidence, I confronted her. Quietly, calmly, strategically. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I presented the facts, the photos, the messages, the receipts. I let the weight of the evidence speak louder than any words I could muster. She tried to deflect, to lie, to manipulate the story. But there was no escaping it. Every piece of evidence, every timestamp, every photo, every hidden conversation painted the same picture: betrayal. Her carefully maintained double life collapsed instantly under scrutiny. The next step was legal. I filed for divorce, citing infidelity, emotional abuse, and deliberate deception. Custody of the children, division of assets, and protection for myself were all handled strategically. Her betrayal had consequences, and they were unavoidable. But the ultimate satisfaction wasn't just in legal victories. It was in reclaiming my life, my dignity, and my sense of control. For months, I had been blindsided by deception, manipulated by someone I had trusted implicitly. Now, I was the one setting the rules, defining the narrative, and ensuring that her actions had real repercussions. In the months that followed, the aftermath of the discovery played out fully. Friends and family were shocked, but I had documented everything. There was no room for doubt. No chance for her to manipulate the truth. The man in the photos, exposed to his social and professional circles. My wife, confronted with accountability, realizing the arrogance and recklessness of her choices. Looking back, I realized the irony. As a professional who exposed the lies of others for a living, I had been blindsided by the most personal lie of all. But I didn't allow it to destroy me. I turned betrayal into strategy, deception into documentation, and heartbreak into empowerment. The photo my client handed me that day could have shattered my world entirely. Instead, it became the catalyst for clarity, action, and ultimate justice. My wife had assumed she could deceive and manipulate, but she had forgotten one crucial thing. The person she betrayed had both the patience and the skills to ensure her betrayal did not go unpunished. In the end, I didn't just survive her lies. I exposed them, reclaimed my life, and proved that betrayal, no matter how deeply hidden, cannot withstand strategy, patience, and undeniable truth. Her secret had stared back at me from a photo, but I stared back harder, and this time, I controlled the outcome.